Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Wednesday, August 31st. We are coming at you a day early because it is almost football time in Tennessee. Tomorrow night, we will make that trek to Neyland, probably because of where we'll be tailgating a little bit down Peyton Manning Pass. I think we may. Are you going to go in gate 21?
Whatever gate that I get to, that I'm
gonna have to
on, that's where I'll go into.
That's fair. I'm gonna have to go in gate 10 because I'm gonna have to walk out and see the new like that. That I want that to be my first view of Neyland in 2022 is through L. So I'm gonna go in gate 10 and I'm gonna protect my view until I can slap the sign in section L in the tunnel and get that. I want that to be my first view. The checkerboards, the new Jumbotron. I'm excited for this episode, but I'm almost like maybe we shouldn't have done it because I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. My heart is, I don't really check my heart rate right now. My doctor would probably be disappointed, and it's probably going to stay at that until 7 p.m. tomorrow. I just don't see a come down. I know everyone else is fired up. I wish you all could have seen me and Landon right before we went live. Landon's more fired up than I am. I don't know if you guys can believe that, though.
Yeah, almost took my clothes off. It got weird.
It got real weird in here.
Well, yeah, we put them back on. We're good. Man, I just... It's here. I can't believe it. Like I can't believe we're playing football tomorrow.
The last month felt so slow, yet
we are playing.
We are. Yeah, we're playing. That's the new installment. The Danny White's next new installment is everybody gets one. Everybody in the stadium gets one play, one snap. Yeah, it feels like it's so long, and we're finally here. Ball State tomorrow, of course. We'll preview that. It's also a big college football weekend. Thursday till Sunday night. Big slate. I've got locks for you. I know Landon's got locks for you. You better ride them. Me and Landon, this is the season we make money. This is our sport. Landon's pretty good at betting some other things, but this is where we shine. This is where we take Vegas for all they've got.
Baseball sucks. Get away from baseball.
All of us stop betting baseball. Mm-hmm. Shout out University Traditions. I decided to dress, and I'm going to start doing this every Thursday, in what I'm going to wear to the game. Like, I'm head to toe what I'm wearing tomorrow night. Might sleep in it. I don't know. That's how fired up I am. I'm testing the fit, though.
It's so weird. Like, Friday's going to suck because I thought today has been Friday. So I've been telling everybody, at work, have a good weekend.
Just calling.
Like, I feel like it's Big Orange Friday. Everybody
chime in. If Landon should call in, give us some 100s in the chat. Landon should call in to work on Friday after a Big Orange dub. Cool beans.
It's not a big enough dub. Like, I'll just work from home.
A dub's a dub. Everybody,
it's not a big enough dub where I should need to take off work when you beat Ball State.
You shouldn't need to, but we want to. That's the point.
Okay.
We want to. We take every victory we can get. It's just who we are. We're Tennessee fans. We want to win them all, and we take pride in winning when we can. All right, let's get right into it. We've also, real quick, last thing, we've got a big announcement coming soon. I'm really excited about it. I don't want to announce it tonight. Just want to get everything kind of put together, make sure before we do it. Big announcement coming soon. We've also nailed down Florida tailgate details, so that's going to be a big one. I don't know if you want to shout out yet.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, all right. I didn't want to get ahead of myself.
Shout out Austin White. He's going to sponsor our Florida tailgate. So we're super excited about that with Realty Executives. Great guy. He was my realtor, and he did a fantastic job. And, I feel like real estate agents kind of get like a weird kind of reputation. Like they show up in a nicer car usually, and they dress fancy and stuff like that. Not Austin. He's a regular dude. He's a football fan. I'm not
What
gonna
does he
say what team
drive?
he cheers for. He just drives a normal Camry or
I was,
something.
I was hoping you were gonna
Yeah.
go something big. He's got one of the new Broncos.
No, he's just a regular dude that just wants to help people and kind of change that reputation of real estate.
Yeah, great dude. Maybe use him one day. Get him down to Chattanooga.
Yeah, go check him out.
For
But,
sure. If you got some
that
needs.
tailgate's going to be massive. So already plan it. Be at the More Important Issues tailgate for the Florida game.
We want you. All right, Ball State. Thursday night, 7 p.m. kickoff. I will be butts in seats by 6:40. I want to see the entire Pride of the Southland marching band get going. I want the full pageantry. I watched the video of the T opening against Ole Miss. We won't get that because it's not dark enough, but man, it's just so. I don't know if it's me. If it's me, my voice was already 100% gone, or a guy like 10 rows back. There was a loud, just hoarse, and that's going to be me tomorrow night. It's going to be me tomorrow. So I'm fired up for it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't look at Ball State much because it doesn't matter. Tennessee, it's about going out and taking care of business, and I think also it's gonna be valuable to get guys reps when you can. In-game reps, not a ton of depth. A bunch of young guys you're probably gonna ask a lot of this year. I think tomorrow the most important thing is taking care of business, getting new guys and guys that haven't gotten a lot of in-game reps, those reps.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, if y'all have any questions in the chat, feel free to drop those in or just comments or want to make fun of somebody. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, Tennessee should dominate. I mean, Ball State's breaking in a new quarterback. He hasn't had really any meaningful reps up to this point. He's yet to throw a touchdown pass in a game. And your first meaningful reps is in front of 80,000 plus in Neyland Stadium. Good luck. Then you got Byron Young and Tyler Barron on the edge with their ears pinned back coming at you. Wouldn't want that either. Then you got Jeremy Banks in the middle that he doesn't care if the whistle's blown or not. He'll still hit you. So, I mean, I just think John Paddock is going to have a rough go of it. Don't envy him at all, but I mean, you're just it's nothing personal. It's just business.
No, for sure, and I think that's too. I don't know how many Tennessee fans will be there, but definitely make it a hard environment. Like you said, just a newcomer, and they don't return a lot in the receiving game. So I mean, it's not like he's going to have a ton of outlets. Now, I don't know kind of offensive line. I don't think that outlook is sure that's the right word. So you mentioned Byron Young, and I don't get ahead of myself in this, but I guess we can kind of combine them. I don't know if you meant like predictions or what you want to see.
Anything.
And so what I want to see, I'll start off first and then kind of bounce it back to you, sticking with the Tyler Barron, Byron Young thing. QB rushes galore, and I think a sack and a half from each of them.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, just make it difficult. I think Tennessee needs to come out strong and, really kind of let Ball State have it. You had that opportunity last year to play a team in Bowling Green where you should have just ran over, and it was kind of close at halftime. I want this game to be over by halftime. I don't think this team is good. I know they won the MAC in 2020, and it is MACtion Thursday. I get it, but I just think Tennessee should run away with this one. I want to see the freshmen in midway through the third quarter, and still, like even when those freshmen or young guys are in, foot on the gas, baby, foot on the gas.
Yeah. You mentioned freshmen. I'm sorry, I did obviously click out of this. I want to see Joe Milton for most of the third quarter. I'd like to see get Hendon in there, drive or two in the third, but I want the game to be a way where you can go to Joe Milton and let him kind of finish out the rest of it. You're probably not. Yeah. You're not going to hang up Hooker at halftime, but get him out of there quick in the third.
Yeah, I think midway through the third, you'll start seeing some backups, or you should anyway. Yeah, I just think like Ball State's. They're working in a new quarterback. I think that's difficult. They're losing a lot of guys. I know they got some wide receivers, the two that combined for 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns last season. But he shouldn't have time to throw it to him.
But yeah.
I don't care who's in. Byron Young, Tyler Barron, Roman Harrison, James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, whoever it is, they should dominate this offensive line, and Tennessee should dominate on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you mentioned kind of not enough time. I don't really remember how our defense looked against Bowling Green. I know it wasn't fantastic. Bowling Green also wasn't a great team. I'm kind of curious to see if Tennessee's aggressive defensively, especially in the secondary. Is it kind of like how you did a lot in SEC play, keeping everything in front of you? And what does that look like tomorrow? Are you more confident in the guys? I know we'll talk depth chart too. I would like to see some. You talked about Tom. I'd like to see some turnovers. Make him force throws. If he wants to get the ball out of his hand. I think that's the kind of, we talked about it, the next step with the secondary. Well, if you can't do it in games like Ball State, if you can't do it in Akron, you're not going to be able to do it in the SEC. So I'd like to see some of that aggressiveness in the secondary as well.
Yeah, I like to see some man-to-man coverage, see what you got. Like you said, keeping everything in front of you, playing zone and just keeping that wide receiver in front of you. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy, but I want to see what you got. And I think these coaches do too. See Kamal Hadd and Christian Charles. Is Warren Burrell a true starter, or is he there because he's a veteran?
Right.
Because nothing he did last year really solidified himself as a starter. So has he improved? If not, do we see somebody maybe take his spot later on in the season? Yeah. Secondary. Is Jalen McCullough faster? I need to see that.
I can tell you that the secondary is probably going to be faster just by putting Christian Charles in the mix more.
100%. He's got to be on the field.
He can fly. Yeah.
I know we're about to get in the depth chart, but that was very puzzling to me. And not that Warren Burrell is a starter per se, because I know it's the first game. I know Willie Martinez loves the veterans. I get it. But I just think you get so much with Christian Charles. And I feel like he was going to make an impact last year. So, I know he moved positions, but I just feel like he's too dynamic to be sitting on the bench. Sorry.
Yeah, and with Christian Charles, it looked like he was going to get more playing time. Correct me if I'm wrong, started against Bama due to injury.
I think he started against Missouri.
And might play more, but he did kind of get banged up at the end of the year. So I'm curious to see what happens if that wasn't the case. I definitely would like to see more of him. And I kind of lost my train of thought with the secondary there. But it wasn't secondary. I'm also interested as far as the outlook of this team, special teams. Going back to, and there's not a ton of depth. Some of the depth you have.
The breaks are made, right?
It's where the breaks are made, but I'm also just interested to see, do you have a lot of guys that are playing defensively and special teams just because of numbers? Like it's not like I'm, declaring special teams alive or dead based on tomorrow night. I'm just curious in terms of roster, who's on special teams. I'm very interested to see that. Speaking of Christian Charles, big time special teams playmaker last year. He had that block against Pitt in the first drive.
Yeah, I think that's where you can open some eyes to some coaches. I mean, like, hey, this kid can play. Let's see what he's got, and at a actual position and not just on special teams. If you're able to make plays on there, so I'm interested in special teams. I want to see who. I know we saw the depth chart of who's returning, but like, how was that role filled without Bayless Jones? He was such a big part of your special teams unit in that return game.
Right.
Can they get some production out of a D. Williams or Trayvon Flowers or Jimmy Holiday? Who do they have back there that can return some kicks, and can they be dynamic in the return game?
And that, going back to who's there, I'm curious to see if somebody you mentioned there's 3 guys listed total in Jimmy Holiday, D. Williams, and Trayvon Flowers. That means they're all 3, unless someone just owns that spot from the get-go tomorrow night or against Pitt, then you potentially could see all 3 back there at some point this year. I'm curious to see if anyone kind of takes the reins in these first 2 or 3 games, maybe go to 4 with Florida, and if they kind of solidify themselves as that main returner. You talk about getting on the field. What a way for Jimmy Holiday to score points, gain yards, and potentially find himself on the field if he can impact the return game a lot.
Yeah, and we did get a question in here. It was, what is the stadium capacity at? I think it's just over 100.
They might say that. They took out look. The stadium looks beautiful. They took out a lot of seats.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's just just over 100.
And they're not done either. And I think the stadium looks gorgeous. Apparently, they've still got some renovations to do at that club level down the west sideline, but it looks beautiful.
I think that might be the question because I said 80,000 plus. I just don't think you're not gonna get 100,000 people in there on a Thursday night.
No, and I'm interested with the hype. If you could make it look full in the sense of maybe there's a few empty seats here or there. I wasn't there last year, and TV you can only see so much. You don't get a lot of upper deck views. I don't know if it was sections empty in the upper deck last year. I know the student allotment sold out. Doesn't surprise me. I think you get a lot of students there Thursday night. So yeah, I'm interested to kind of see what with the hype around the program if it at least looks full. Because I'm with you. You're not going to fill it up on a Thursday night. But it is Labor Day weekend. Probably get some people from out of town that you wouldn't normally get on a Thursday. If you played a Thursday night game in the season. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is the realist point of view. I know you're not going to sell it out, but let's try to pack that place best we can. And listen, at least we're not selling tickets at Costco. So.
Sure. Although I wouldn't mind it.
I'm not buying them, so I don't care.
Yeah, but I would definitely love a parking pass. Like if I could get a G10 parking pass at Costco, sign me up.
Your boy would be a member at Costco.
Yeah,
if you want me coming from Sam's Club, that's what you do.
For sure. But yeah, going back to what I want to see, I want to see a big dose of Jabari Small.
Yeah, I've got him. I want to see him over 100 yards tomorrow. I think he plays enough that's possible. We mentioned getting him out and maybe more just to kind of see some more backs and alleviate the chance at getting injured. But I think the workload he'll get, I think the chance is there.
Yeah, and him gaining some weight, him and Jalen Wright, I think that's going to be huge for when Tennessee does, have a 3rd and short. Everybody in the stadium knows what you're doing. You're handing the football off and going right up a guard's ass. Last year they weren't able to really get a lot of those. If they did, it was usually by a measurement by the officials. So I want to see them convert a lot of those, and also on defense, get off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of going back to what we want to see from the offense, I'd also, we talked about how can Hendon Hooker kind of improve. I would like to see him not. I think that's a big thing is can Tennessee. We talk about this defense and where they can improve, but where the offense is always going to hurt the defense is they're quick. They're going to be quick off the field, even if they score. Well, let's be friendly to the defense, our defense, and let's not turn the ball over. Those kind of quick change scenarios just aren't going to ever bode well for our defense. So I'd like to see them not turn the ball over, and I think. Thankfully, you do have, for the most part, a veteran offensive line. I know Ball State returns their sack leader in Tavion Woodward, and I think 8.5 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks. And so you do have a little bit of a test. So I think that's good. It's not Will Anderson or anything, but enough that if we're going to look at the landscape of college football, this should be a preseason game. If you're going to look at that, that's a good early kind of test just to get some things filling out, especially for the new guys at the left tackle position.
Yeah, I was going to lead with that next. Yeah, the left tackle position. I want to see kind of what who starts number one and what that kind of workload looks like, and how well they kind of fare. You mentioned Woodward, and again, he's not a world beater, but he's a guy that if you're just going to let him by you, he's going to disrupt the offense. So. Yeah, I want to see a lot about that. Wesley Hall said random, but how are our kickers, LOL?
Good question.
I mean, you return everybody. Chase McGrath is back. You have one of the best punters, I think, in the country, and Paxton Brooks, friend of the pod also.
Shout out.
So, yeah, I like what we have kicking-wise. That's not really a concern of mine.
Concern. Paxton Brooks does a lot for you in the kicking game as an entirety. He's obviously your holder. Pretty consistent on kickoffs. I think he's a guy that he has all the leg ability in the world. He's also got a decent skill set of being able to pin guys deep. When the field's right for him. So that's good. I think his biggest, if you want to call it a concern, biggest question is his consistency. I don't know what he averaged last year, but I know there was some balls that, he mishit, came off the foot ways he didn't like. And so I think that's the biggest question for him is does he going to be a guy that's a weapon all the time? When you need a guy to flip the field, get out of your own end and give your defense a chance. It goes back into your defense, giving your defense a chance to work. I think that's the only question with Paxton. Is it going to be 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, or are there still going to be some questions there? But other than that, I agree with you. I mean, he's got one of the strongest legs in the SEC, so that's a positive for Tennessee. And then Chase McGrath, he's kind of the opposite of Paxton in the sense of Mr. kind of consistent, not the strongest leg in the SEC. You get inside 40 yards and he'll pretty. I'm gonna actually pull it up. I don't know what he was inside 40, but pretty consistent inside 40 yards. And after that, get a little deep. That's kind of what I want to know. Can Tennessee have a guy on the roster that at least you're coming into halftime, you're coming into the end of the game? Do you have a guy at 50 plus that you can look at and at least get it there?
Yeah. At Matt R _66 said y'all
Matty Ice.
No,
baby. Different Matt Art?
Matt R.
Matt
Yes.
R. I'm sorry. Is that Matt Rimmer?
Yes, Matt Rimmer.
Friend of the pod. Shout out.
Yeah. He said y'all going 10-2. I hope that means a win over Georgia.
I don't think he planned that. I don't think that's his plan. Wow. So go ahead and just So he was 3 for 5 inside from 40 to 49, 5 for 6 inside 40, 4 for 4 inside 30. So very consistent under 40 yards, fairly consistent under 50, and then just had one opportunity from beyond 50. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Mr. Consistent, not the strongest leg.
Gotcha. Also, I want to see what Brew McCoy looks like.
Oh God,
he looks good in pads. I'll say it.
He's a bus guy for sure. If nothing else, he's a bus guy.
Right. Yeah, I just want to see him kind of get involved in the offense, and him and Jalen Hyatt, get them involved, get them going early, get the tight ends involved. Just spread the ball around. Let's work that quick game you mentioned. Kind of give the defense a break. Let's play the quick game. Let's throw some screens, throw some hitches, some slants. Get that confidence going, and we can kind of put them to sleep a little bit, and then hit them over the top of something. Let's see some big plays. I want to see some home run balls.
Oh, for sure. That's and I think you talked about it. I hate to get too excited about it, but it looks like Hendon Hooker and even Joe Milton are honing in those deep balls. You've got the guys that can catch them. You got the guys that can get behind the secondary. So I would love it. I would love nothing more. Especially after Bowling Green last year, where so many opportunities just went to waste.
Yeah. Also, I want to see who starts at defensive tackle opposite of or next to Amari Thomas, Bryson Eason, Karat Garland. I'm just so intrigued by Bryson Eason. I mean, I remember when he committed to Tennessee from Whitehaven and Memphis with that, Whitehaven trio, he was their middle linebacker, and now he's playing defensive tackle in the SEC.
And he's got the size for it according to the depth chart. He
does. He's 300 pounds. Yeah, I think he was like 260 his senior year of high school. So I mean, I guess
that's not small for a linebacker either.
No, he was a bigger linebacker, but
that if he's
he's got nothing left. He can't get much bigger.
No, and if he's as big and he kind of maintained that speed and strength, what a compliment. Nothing against Karat Garland, but what a compliment that would be to Amari Thomas, a guy who's quick for his size and kind of wreaks havoc at that, on the centers and guards last year at times. I mean, and again, if he can do that consistently too, Amari, the biggest game he kind of showed what he can be is against Georgia. Just a ton of penetration there in the middle of the offensive line, and even I don't know if he had a sack or it was almost a sack on Stetson Bennett, but just he can wreak havoc, and we really need that from him. I mean, I think this is a game where your defensive line can really show out.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Tamari McDonald, I had a big, bold prediction that he's going to be the biggest playmaker in this secondary. I want to see what he looks like at the star position. That was a big position for Tennessee last year with Theo Jackson. It was big when Sean Schamberger was the star. So I want to see kind of what that position looks like. And he's the only guy that really went out there and took a position this offseason. So I'm interested to see kind of what he looks like and how many plays he's able to wrangle up.
I'm unfairly fired up right now. I need to stop talking about it. I'm gonna have to call a doctor. Told Lane I'm gonna have to call a doctor in about 3 hours. This is the more, and it's the orange goggles, man. It just is what it is. It's part of being a fan, and I'll never deny that. I know what this Tennessee team kind of, probably will end up, but I see a lot of hope. I mean, especially we just ran through that defensive line. Oh my gosh! I mean, you should have a strong pass rush. You should.
Yeah, I think that's going to help the secondary out a ton. I know we've said that a lot on this show, but that if you miss you let somebody run right by you. If Byron Young's getting a sack, it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. You just want to see him wash some plays away, and that's kind of the biggest thing that a defensive lineman can do. And it does kind of fall in the secondary. Don't let that ball come out too quick. But I mean, if you got a guy like Derek Barnett, which I know would be asking a lot of Tyler Barron or Byron Young, but if you've got a guy that like that, it does a ton for your secondary too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Coda. I doubt we went over Georgia too. I would almost say we don't, but we're gonna talk trash to Georgia fans. I like Matt, but I'm gonna talk trash to him.
Yeah. Love the guy, but hate him at the same time.
I'll hate him in November. I promise you that. So I know we kind of ran through the depth chart. What's one position that you mentioned, defensive line opposite of Amari Thomas? What's another position that you're kind of interested to see once either who starts, because you had some wars. You had a few wars in there. I think you set the over under, or somebody in your reply at 8.
Yeah, it was 16.
I think it was.
Yeah, in the whole depth chart.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. Is that counting special teams? That's unfair. But
yeah, I think there was 2 on special teams.
So we'll call it 14. So what's maybe a position you're going to see who starts, or in the run of the game you rotate in, and what you would consider your quote unquote ones, because defensive line, it's is there really a one, especially at tackle? There's so much rotation, like that kind of deal.
Yeah, linebacker for me, it's who's starting there. I don't think it's a huge concern because I think you have more bodies there, but I do want to see who's starting next to Jeremy Banks, and if it's Jawan Mitchell, what does he look like? Didn't really see a whole lot of him last year. He was a tackling machine at Texas. Hey, be a tackling machine here.
Honestly, at that linebacker position, I'm not even asking you to be a big playmaker. We talk about finding someone on this team who is. If you are, great, but be a go make tackles. Go help Jeremy Banks play sideline to sideline and help us. I mean, that goes back into, as much as I think the secondary wasn't great last year, I also think they just didn't get a ton of help. And if you're relying a lot on your secondary, you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why they want to get better at defensive line. That's why they, landed Joshua Josephs, James Pierce. I think those are 2 guys that are going to get some playing time this year. Even though I think you have 2 capable guys in Byron Young and Tyler Barron, I think those 2 guys are really dynamic, and I think it's shown over camp that they deserve to play some.
Yeah, and just the nature of the position too. Like I said, rotating so many guys there, it's just kind of the nature of it. So yeah, that's. I mean, I'm really interested. You mentioned it earlier that Christian Charles Kamal Hadden duo, and then also Warren Burrell opposite of him, who is the solidified starter. Kind of interested just to, like you said, see if that's, like you said, he earned it, or if it's veteran. But I mean, I think the guys opposite of him, both Christian Charles and Kamal Hadden, they had moments that make me believe they're very capable of being starters on this team.
Yeah, I agree.
But got to improve. But that's banking on they improve some.
Mm-hmm. Some also kind of surprised me with the depth chart was no Brandon Turnage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think he struggled at times last year more than I think someone like Kamal Hadden. Played about the same, I would say. And then he had a little bit with injury. He missed some time due to injury, didn't he? Or was that Kamal Hadden?
Say that again.
Brandon Turnage missed a little bit of time with injury too, didn't he? Or was that? I thought one of those transfers missed. I mean, nothing, absurd.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
they
he was a
weren't
little
playing
banged up
much,
during
but
camp, but the fact that he wasn't in the two deep was kind of strange to me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we saw like these guys are playing well, and he just didn't make that cut. But I would like to think Brandon Turnage would have been somewhere in that two deep, and he wasn't.
for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you though, and I'm gonna just look at it from a positive standpoint and say,
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit negative here, and it's surprising to me that Dejon Terry and Elijah Simmons isn't next to Amari Thomas. I thought that was interesting. I know
Yeah.
Brock Garland's played a lot, and I know they like Bryson Easton. I'm not taking anything away from those guys. I just thought it was finally time to see those two guys maybe take that next step, and as we know it now, it looks like they haven't.
Yeah, and I think it's love Elijah Simmons, Junkyard Dog. Like, big fan of Elijah Simmons. It more surprises me about Dejon Terry. I feel like he had a lot of plays where he stood out more last year. So, like you said, kind of take that next step. Elijah Simmons looked a lot like a spell guy. Come in, kind of do his job, but probably not going to be a huge playmaker. I thought he did a lot of good stuff, kind of plugging up the middle, especially. He's very strong and quick enough to hold his own, but he just wasn't a world beater at a lot of times. And I mean, neither was not that Dejon Terry did it a ton. I just feel like he had more highlight moments, more like you said, he looked more prepared to take that next step, in my opinion. So that one does surprise me a little bit, but I again think you see a lot of them. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like you're gonna rotate these guys, so it's not like it matters a ton. But I thought when the depth chart came out, it'd be Amari Thomas and Elijah Simmons, or Amari Thomas and Dejon Terry.
For sure. Yeah. Anything else kind of depth chart wise? Or another maybe game prediction. What are you like? Are we doing score predictions, or did we stop, or what's the deal? I know we kind of went back and forth.
I know you stopped doing them. I'll keep doing it.
I don't know why I stopped doing it. I still do them with my brothers. I don't know if I just got really sad last year.
Okay.
I do request that if you do see me tomorrow, please call me Joshua. I'm Caleb the man, but I'm Joshua. So as a man, I'm Caleb. As a fan, I'm Joshua. So yeah, we decided today when you can ignore the flag behind me. When Liverpool went down 1-0, it's officially I'm the curse. And then Arsenal, of course, won. So I am the curse. I can't ever stop being a Tennessee fan. I'm really sorry, guys. It's just not in me. Once that happens, I probably die. So if you do want me to die, then that's fine too. But I probably do. So yeah, I'll do a score prediction. Or do we want to try and do it now, or do we want to?
One thing about the depth chart I thought was very interesting. Every single starter is a 3-year guy. I thought you'd maybe see more sophomores. Maybe I think the only one listed, and he's listed as an or, and I think that was mostly because of the eligibility. Bert McCoy or Walker Merrill. Walker Merrill's a sophomore. But every guy has been in a college program for 3 years.
Yeah, and our good friend over at Vols Picks, sorry. P and D, get those mixed up. Of course he had to mention that, but he also failed to mention that only a few, handful of those are JP's guys. So I feel
like that's a good thing though, right?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it shows that guys are, again, you could probably spin it either way, that like you said, so maybe sophomores aren't taking the right necessary steps. I think last year you saw a ton of growth in production, of course, but I think also just guys were playing a lot better, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, there's still a ton to grow at, but I think you also saw some production in areas, and you just lost a lot defensively too. So you're obviously going to rely on those guys that have more experience and that you kind of know. That's another thing. I think, especially in the secondary, there could be quite a few shakeups from what you see day one, just because of the unknown.
Yeah, you got to see who's a gamer. Hendon Hooker didn't start first game last year,
right?
So it's not the end all be all. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of how these positions play themselves out. and Tennessee's going to dominate. They're going to get out, score 14 pretty quick. That first drive is going to be an easy touchdown. Jabari Small is going to score it from 12 yards out.
Oh, you're on 12?
Yeah, what'd you go? You went 20?
33-yard touchdown
33.
to Cedric Tillman.
Okay.
Yeah.
We go 12-yard touchdown from Jabari Small. And Tennessee just has this game in the bag at halftime, and then we see some, more guys kind of thrown in there. Some I'd like to see Andre Turrentine, Wesley Walker, Joe Milton, the freshman running backs, Sampson and Williams Thomas. So I think you'll see a lot of guys.
I'd love to see a lot of receivers. And that was something that was mentioned, I believe, in the Monday presser, or maybe it was the SEC conference call, that Josh Heupel wants to play more than pretty much 3 receivers. And it's kind of just on them to make those next steps, and especially tomorrow.
They wanted to do it last year, too. There was just no one they really trusted.
I'd like to see Cedric Tillman start his 1,000-yard campaign again, get that going. But I'd also, like to get him out of the game quick and get some other guys some experience in there. And like to see a big game from Brew McCoy. But if he's on the bench for most of the second half, I don't think we'll be complaining.
Yeah. I want to see what he looks like with the ball in his hands.
For sure.
Get him out in the open field. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and speaking of a guy, Jalen Hyatt, man, I really want to see him take his next step. I'm a big Jalen Hyatt fan. I think he does a lot of great things, and just kind of – he says he's more bought in. It's him saying that. It's not even the coaching staff. So, his mind's kind of right. His body looks right too. So, get it. Go get it. Start it tomorrow against the team you should get it against. Get yours.
Score predictions?
Drop them in the chat before I look like an idiot. This one's just so weird to me. I don't know. I think Tennessee's defense gives up some points. Just kind of the nature of this defense. I don't think it's a lot. I think you hold them. Less than 3 scores. Now, is that 10, 14, 17? I'm in between. I'm going to go 13. Give them 2 field goals and a touchdown. I think, and the touchdown comes late. And that's too the nature of Tennessee is this defense. Early in the season when they were playing a little bit better ball, they were 100% bend don't break. Let them drive the field, but we're not, they're not getting in the end zone kind of deal when they were playing their best ball. So I think it's something similar. Hopefully not. I want to say no, just because, like you said, first game for a quarterback, first throw, and or no first touchdown if he does score. So I want to say not a lot. It's just looking at the landscape of this defense, the way your offense plays, I see 3 scores. So I've got Ball State going 13. Tennessee, I really want to put a 50 burger. Tell me I'm an idiot.
That's a lot.
Tell me I'm an idiot before I do it.
You're an idiot.
Okay, 55-13.
Okay, I like it.
2 field goals. Vols cover. I'm not betting on it, so that's not a lock. Disclaimer, not a lock, but Vols cover.
Yeah, I think they put a 30-piece up pretty quick.
That's another thing too, man. Like, if your starters are in the game, it's a different story. But I really think you rotate out. So it's really what can the 2s do?
Yeah, and again, I want to keep that foot on the gas. I'm gonna give Ball State 10 points.
Okay.
I mean, if they get a field goal, they probably get a big play. Catch somebody sleeping, and then they get a field goal, and then they score late with Tennessee's 3 or 4s in. I'm gonna go Tennessee 49, Ball State 10.
Okay, so we're pretty close.
Vols cover.
3 points off.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Vols cover. Drop your score predictions in here. Curious to see what you guys are thinking. I'm definitely on the orange goggles view of score predictions. So take that with a grain of salt. This is all Tennessee fan talking. Not a ton of logic, if being me and you 100%. But also, I talked about the 2s kind of making things unsure. I really think Joe Milton looks better this year. I really do.
I mean, can't look worse.
Okay, all right. Not fair. I think Joe Milton looks competent this year. I think he looks pretty good. So, take some. If we want to call it a next step, call it a next step.
Yep. College football.
Yeah, let's talk some college football. I've got some locks ready. I don't know how we want to run through those. I feel like I say this every year. So again, the grain of salt just feels like a really good week 1 slate. Game day is going to be in Columbus with Ohio State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame shouldn't be ranked 5th, but besides the point. So regardless, going to be a good matchup. At least we got one good game. You've got West Virginia Pitt tomorrow night. I think it's the same time kickoff on ESPN.
I'm going to be right back. I'll let you run through these real quick.
Yeah. I'll run through these. You go. Purdue, Penn State. I'm pretty excited for that matchup as well. I'll go ahead and tell you I'm going to lock in Purdue, I believe, plus 3.5. Let me just double check that. I just don't believe – I know missing Sam Hartman's not ideal, but I just don't believe in Penn State and James Franklin. So I'm going Purdue to cover plus 3.5. I like that lock. Give me your thoughts. Again, week 0 was tough. The only one I really got toasted on was the Nebraska and Northwestern under. And I know I'm going to get toasted on a few of these early games. Purdue, Penn State might be a little bit of me kind of just blindly. Probably not a great pick, but I'm going to ride with it. That's probably it for your Thursday games that are worth watching. Missouri plays Louisiana Tech. So, I'm sure some SEC fans will be on that one, clicking back and forth between breaks. Then you've got Friday. Duke is only a 7-point favorite over Temple. Not locking it in, but it's an interesting look. Have a look at it. TCU, Colorado, too many points for me. Should be a good game. I'll have that one on 10 p.m. TCU being a 13.5-point favorite. I don't trust Colorado to cover. I don't trust TCU to cover. I'm staying away, but regardless, good matchup. Texas A&M, Sam Houston, not a game worth betting, but a game worth mentioning. Jimbo Fisher kind of put up, shut up time. Not that A&M's going to fire him, though, but are you going to be clowned around the country again? Maybe you go beat Bama after not a great season. Haynes King, starting quarterback. Do you get more out of him than – I can't remember who they played last year, that half before he got injured. Didn't look great then. Here's a lock. And this is I think, popular in the football community. App State, money line over UNC. I better see everyone have this. I better see every single person in this chat have this one. UNC is just – they didn't look great against Florida A&M, just in shambles in that program. A lot going on. Not happy players, some dysfunction in the program, and Florida A&M still puts a little sweats on North Carolina in that game. App State to win. I believe it's in Boone. It's going to be a fun road trip. Landon, I locked in Purdue plus 3.5 at Penn State. I don't have you for some reason. I don't know if everybody else can hear you, if it's just me. Still, we'll let Landon get there. As soon as he comes in, I'll let him chime in. I'm just going to run through the games I'm betting just because there's a lot of not noteworthy games. Yeah. Like Tennessee Ball State's not a noteworthy game. We're talking about it because we're Tennessee fans.
You can?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm going to mention this one real quick, and then we'll go back to you. Lock it in over 51, Florida and Utah. I don't think either defense is going to be good in that game, and both offenses were pretty strong last year. I think 51's an easy choice. Take it. If you're wanting to bet on or Florida to cover, I take Florida, but definitely the over. That's a lock.
Yeah, I really like Florida in that game. I don't know why. I think it has to do with it's in the swamp. Maybe it sways me a little bit more. I just don't trust Pac-12 teams. Sorry.
As you should.
All right. My lock. I do like Penn State.
You like Penn State minus 3.5?
I do like Penn State. I just don't know. I'm not a huge – I feel like if we play Purdue, 10 times, we beat them 9.
I'm not big on Purdue. And then I'm going to be honest. I think losing Hartman. Is he still out? I know he had those medical issues.
He's at Wake Forest.
Oh, shoot. Why did I think Purdue? When did we play? We didn't play Wake Forest. Oh, Jeff Brom's at Wake Forest, right?
No, Jeff Brom's at Purdue.
Why? Black and gold. You get it.
Dave Clawson's at Wake Forest.
Dave Clawson's. Yeah. Even better. That makes me feel even better about that game. I was thinking Sam Hartman, black and gold. So,
but yeah, Sam Hartman's out. Anyway.
Did they ever say what it was? I don't want to get into it, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't think think they did. One of my locks, I really like. Somebody told me I was stupid for this, but I like Arkansas minus 6.5 over Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati lost a ton.
Yeah.
I like Arkansas. Sorry. I like their defense better than I like Cincinnati's. Cincinnati lost a lot. Sauce is gone. Desmond Ridder, Alex Pierce. They're going to have to, replace a lot of production. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that game's on Saturday at 3:30. I don't hate that pick. It's just a lot of. I think Arkansas has more knowns.
I'll say that it's not a lock. I just like that pick.
Okay, that I'm with 100%. I like Arkansas. I don't even know if I'm willing to bet it. You have one lock. I've got
one lock.
I think I've given all but one, and I've actually. Hey, I like this. I'm calling it talk, not lock. I've got Arkansas to cover.
Arkansas.
I've got Arkansas to cover. I'm just like you said, I'm not locking it. I changed my App State money line to a lock. I'm locking it. I just after seeing UNC, just go with what you know. I like App State.
I'm gonna go LSU -3 over Florida State. Lock.
I love that one. That is a lock for me as well. That's a great pick. I've got. I need to go back to Thursday real quick too. I've got Pitt covering 7.5 on West Virginia. I mean,
I want to pick it so bad.
You want to pick Pitt or you want to pick
Pitt?
WVU? I mean, just come on, JT Daniels. Like he's not going to play the entire game with that defense.
Mountaineer Nation. That's right.
Has he always looked that goofy, by the way, or what's the deal?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Another one. I think I'm buying into the pre-hype. I think I'm buying in to the ESPN crap. 17 points just seems like a lot for Ohio State to beat Notre Dame. Again, not locking it. I'm not probably taking it. It just seems like a lot of points.
I agree. What do you think about Georgia, Oregon? That same thing.
Yeah, I said it, I think, last week. I really like Oregon to cover. Again, I just don't necessarily trust the Pac-12. I think it's kind of the same with Notre Dame. I don't trust Notre Dame when it comes to Ohio State. And 17 points, though, is a lot. And if here's the thing with Georgia. I think if Georgia gets a defensive touchdown, they probably cover that.
Well, and also, like, if they score 30 points, I think they cover the spread. I just don't know if I like them to score 30.
Score 30.
Points.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No, I definitely agree with that. I'd probably tell you to stay away, but
what do you think about Kentucky, Miami, Ohio? -16.
I think Kentucky, even without Chris Rodriguez, like.
Yeah, I kind of didn't take that into account, but like, surely they cover 7.
I think they cover 16. Here's an interesting one that's same line. Mississippi -16. I like Memphis +16.
Okay, yeah.
I
don't know anything about these two teams, but I want to get your take on it. Houston -4 over Texas San Antonio.
I don't
know anything about them, but I know Houston is ranked, so that makes me want to pick them -4.
I have seen a lot of people on +4. I don't like it. I don't know how I feel about -4. I'm with you. I think Houston should win by a touchdown at least. But I think I stay away from that. I've given my 5 locks out, however many I got to by the end of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locks out. That's probably too many. We talked about over betting, but I think it's one of those talk, not lock. I like you, but maybe it's how much talk I've seen around taking Antonio at +4. but I'm not a fan of it.
I got one from our boy Dylan Cole. Shout out.
Perfect. This is what I've been waiting for.
Florida Atlantic -4.5, I think, over Ohio.
Dude, after seeing Florida Atlantic last week, I'll bet whatever I need to on.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I took Charlotte like a moron, but, you know, I'm an idiot, so.
Yeah, so there's you a
I
lot.
like it, Dylan Cole.
LSU,
I'm not gonna
Florida
put that in
Atlantic.
all, but
I'm going to ride those two. I'm going to play Arkansas. That's probably the only ones I want to bet on the Florida-Utah game so bad, too.
For sure.
I just don't know which way to bet.
I bet the over, so you can have some bet the over. That over hits, I'm telling you. That over hits in the third quarter.
Those two defenses are pretty good, though.
Florida's defense? I mean, maybe comparing them to Pac-12, maybe you're right, but no. I'm taking 51 also isn't a ton of points.
That's true.
Here's one that I'm want to bet on because it's a 10:30 game, and the 10:30 games trap me. Oregon State's a 2.5 point favorite over Boise State. It is at home, so which means Boise State's probably a little bit of a favorite, but Oregon State go win by a field goal. I mean, come on. Come on. I can see that you like that one.
I'm just trying to look at all the even the ranked matchup or the good matchups aren't even supposed to be close. Like Ohio State, Notre Dame, not supposed to be close. Clemson, Georgia Tech. I wouldn't say those are supposed to be close, but I mean it's 20 something.
It's huge. What about, did you see Western Kentucky's a 16-point favorite over Hawaii? Western Kentucky did not look great against Austin Peay. Not great.
But Hawaii looked garbage.
But at least it was an SEC team. At least it was an
garbage.
SEC team. And I know I'm using SEC pretty, loosely, but at least it was an SEC team. Western Kentucky didn't look great for 3 quarters against an
this might be the battle of the worst teams in America.
FCS team. Western Kentucky, I wouldn't put them in that category. Maybe FBS, but yeah, not great.
Yeah, FBS. That's what I'm
okay.
talking
All
about.
right. We're splitting divisions here.
Well, UConn and Vandy last year.
Utah State's going to get, I would almost tell you to take hammer almost 41.5 Bama over Utah State.
Yeah,
Utah State looked awful last week.
Yep, and I picked them like an idiot.
Hey, I hated it, but I had to take the under, and it hit. Live under. I don't know what the beginning was. Took the live under, and it hit. Saved me some money. That was good, but yeah, you just cut out on me, Landon. I'm again. Looks like it's me. You. I mean, maybe try again.
My back.
You are back. We're back.
NC State, East Carolina. That's just begging us to take NC State at 11.5.
I think
that's another one where I don't know anything about East Carolina, but
I think it's gone down. I think it was at 13. I think. Don't hold me to that.
All right, I'm leaving that one. It is in Greenville, so it's at East Carolina.
Let's take the Pirates. Come on. As a podcast, let's take the Pirates. Just to cover.
I do want to pick a team, kind of like we rode Coastal.
All right, let's not say for sure it's ECU for the year. Do you just have the spread or do you have the over under open on that?
Over under is 51.5. I kind of like that.
I kind of like that too.
We going over?
Over ECU.
Hammer it, baby. Hammer it.
Hundreds in the chat. Officially, the more important issues pick of the week. The over East Carolina. Maybe our over of the year. Maybe our.
Let's go. I'm pumped.
Speaking of that, what's the Coastal over?
They're playing Army, so I'm not taking that.
You're not taking that?
I'm not taking the over, no.
Whatever come on, Landon.
I don't have it in front of me.
If it's sitting there at 50, you have.
Oh my god, you're killing
me. All right, as a podcast, we're taking ECU. We're taking the Pirates. Did you like my joke today, by the way?
What was it? Oh yeah, it was good.
I stole it, but it was good.
That is good.
Are there any original jokes anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm gonna find
Not
this
ones
coastal
you can
over
say on
and-
this podcast.
We're gonna find this coastal over and we're gonna.
I did have a joke for you earlier.
Yeah, you did. We're not repeating that one. It was funny. 53.5, Landon. 53.5. Oh man. Can Coastal score 40? That's the question. Here's what
Dude,
we're doing.
I'm hammering this over right now. Not that one. The East Carolina.
No, okay.
Over.
We're going, it's not a heavy over parlay, but we're going ECU over, Coastal Carolina over parlay. Right here in this seat. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Everybody get in with us. Let's go. We're doing this together. If you're in watching right now, you have to do it. You have to do ECU. You don't have to do Coastal unless you're stupid like me. Everybody else, let's go.
Are you on FanDuel or DraftKings?
DraftKings. All my money's in DraftKings. I cashed out of everything else, and I just don't want to put more money in right now. I'll probably by next week, just so I can bet more money. But you know, it is what it is. Well, so we got all our locks. I didn't have Twitter pulled up because I was having to look at my notes app. Do we get any other locks? If you got a lock of the week,
where's Dilly?
I'm not telling you I'll ride with
Dilly
bets. Come on, get in here, Dilly. If you got a lock, I don't. Who knows? He's probably trying to get his hands bigger. I understand. Doing those workouts. If you have a lock, let me know. I'm not promising you I'll ride with you, but I'll think about it. Give me a good lock. And if you give me a lock I already have, you just know I'm going to put more money on. So go ahead. Make me spend some money. Make me spend some cash.
What was that parlay that you did? What was the odds?
Let's pull it back up. The 2 team?
Yeah. Minus 240 or plus 245? Is that around?
I'm trying to get it pulled up. It was somewhere around there.
So FanDuel has the ECU at 51.5 minus 115. DraftKings has it at
52. I'm taking it.
52. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Plus 265. The over parlay.
Okay.
Dropped a lock on Twitter. You're just gonna have to maybe tweet it at me. Tweet me your locks. So I can see them. Though they disappear on the chat. Tweet me your locks right now. Okay, so game of the week. What's your game?
Man, that's a great question. I want to say Arkansas, Cincinnati, maybe.
Okay.
But I also think Arkansas could just destroy them.
I think that's definitely possible.
Maybe it is Utah, Florida.
I don't hate that pick. I'm gonna maybe go like a weird one. Maybe a weird one. Definitely not for some people. I think it's Pitt, West Virginia. They haven't played since
the backyard brawl.
They haven't played since when West Virginia should have been playing in the national championship, got beat by Pitt like 13-10. They haven't played since then. You've got JT Daniels dropping a F, or no, it was Caden Slovis.
Keaton Slovis.
Keaton Slovis dropping the FU West Virginia. Pretty bold to do. It's
both former USC quarterbacks.
Yeah, which kind of makes it like a little more interesting.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Slovis kind of took JT Daniels' spot when JT got hurt. And then Jackson Dart came in and made Keaton Slovis leave. And then Lincoln Riley came and Caleb Williams. So Jackson darted to Ole Miss.
Okay, so maybe that wasn't. I thought the last time they played was that game, but it looks like they played in 2011. I think it was the 2009 game, 16-19. When was Pitt or when was West Virginia in that? when they should have.
Was that
I
a
think it was
Pat McAfee?
senior. I think it was Pat McAfee's senior year. Pull it up here. Dude, he looked like a goon in college. Not that he doesn't, kind of now.
Yeah,
it's his whole like shtick. So yeah, his whole shtick's goony. So I guess he probably would like that look, but I can't pull it up. I thought that's the last time they haven't played since 2011 though. So 11 years, renewed rivalry, home and home. They're playing we're calling it Heinz Field, whatever it's called. Calling it Heinz Field. I like it. So I think, I like Utah, Florida for my game of the week. I also,
if we can't pronounce the
West Virginia.
field's name, it should just be called like the stadium, right? Like the Washington football team.
Yes, it should. Yes, it should. I'm also going to throw out a sneaky one that I think could be interesting. It's all on one team, and it's the game day's game of the week. I mean, Notre Dame and Ohio State. Like that should be a classic football game. Two classic programs. I know it's probably not going to be. I think that's the college football fan in me hoping we just get a really good game in week 1 in Columbus.
Well, props to Notre Dame for playing a game where, like, if they get slaughtered, then we don't have to worry about putting them in the college football playoff. Right?
Yeah, get it out of the way quick. That's good for them. Why remain in the talks when you have no business?
Right.
Yeah, I like that, especially when you don't play conference games. So
it's about time they do something like that.
For sure. I'm excited for that one. Let's see. Surprise, my Twitter's not working for me. I'm sure it's my internet, but somebody replied to our what locks you have, so I was trying to pull that up. But let's go ahead and get to stupidity. Let's get moving here a little bit.
Okay. I have Mark Stoops.
Dang it.
Sorry.
Are you taking my screenshot?
No. This is different. Stoops said, I expect a few of them to have multiple game suspensions. The next question was, can you tell us which players are suspended? Stoops says, I didn't say suspended. You did. They are unavailable to play.
That's a master wordsmith. He did never say they were suspended. He said they will probably. But yeah, what an idiot.
He said they will have multiple game suspensions.
Yeah, so apparently they haven't even been handed out yet. What me and you and Austin were talking about. Apparently that's like in preparation for those suspensions. Obviously, Chris Rodriguez is suspended though.
Yeah, he did say suspensions.
Oh yeah, he said the word suspensions. I don't really. It's very weird.
Oh, I mean,
he's stupid. It's just hilarious that he tried to pull that. He's like, I never said they were suspended.
They are unavailable to play. That means they're suspended.
Yeah, no, it's all time stupid. All time stupid, but
also, my man, wear a hat. Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen it.
I'll show it to
you. Real quick, Beard did say he took a parlay. Kind of similar, but Landon, he's going opposite of you. He's got LSU -3, Utah -2.5, and then he's got Alabama to cover -39. So
39, that's a good number.
They're out there. You need someone to pick against you. If everyone's with you, you're losing to Vegas. So
39 is a whatever number. 36 is also a whatever number.
Don't listen to him, Jonah. My stupidity is also Mark Stoops. We're just going to.
Is Jonah 36?
I think so.
Is he still 36?
I think so.
Right, get this man another number. He's too fast to have number 36.
He might just like it. He might just be like, "Hey, I got it my freshman year. I'm going to use it now." I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Hey, rock the whatever number.
Why not?
I mean, Peerless Price did.
He was 11. No, it's 37. Sorry. I was thinking Joey Kent.
Yep.
Shout out Bobby Graham. Well, speaking of a number 11, we'll be partying with one tomorrow.
VFL tailgate.
Let's do it. Mark Stoops as well. Back in July, he said he believes NIL collectives are illegal and says that they're paying players. They're playing, so Kentucky's playing against players that he knows were paid under the table. Listen, I'm going to float out the message board rumor. I'm just going to say it. Disclaimer, I have no idea if this is true. KSR refuses to comment on it. Homer take, which is fine, be a homer. There's a rumor going out there that maybe some guys had jobs that they never showed up to. And I don't know about you, Landon, but to me, I guess not to Mark Stoops, that sounds pretty illegal. Sounds like paying players under the table. So I don't know, man. Just maybe don't throw rocks from a glass house. Like that's just probably not the right move to do.
Basketball school.
He is seeing a meltdown. I feel like he has a lot going for him, and he's getting into it with his basketball coach on campus. He's taking jabs at Shane Beamer, which I'm for, but completely unwarranted. And then just sticking his foot in his mouth at every turn. Like, what is going on? He could be at Kentucky forever, winning 8, 9 great years, winning 10 games, and you can make a lot of money. What is going on?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Hey, if he wants to keep doing this, I'll gladly trade our schedule with his.
Preferably just the west side or the west SEC schedule.
Right.
That's really one I want to trade.
My next one is sticking with the SEC coach theme is Brian Kelly. Says Florida State played a game. That's an advantage for them. The advantage for us is that we haven't played.
I mean, yeah, I guess rest is a good thing, but what? They played Duquesne. What? Did he say it in a Southern accent and make it a little bit more, admiring?
Florida.
Rest is an advantage. I got to do like a really, like,
Florida.
Ron Kelly. I can't, like, rest is really
advantage.
Good. Advantage for us. You say it like that?
Yeah, he had to. Yeah.
I hate Brian Kelly. I would love nothing more than to be Brian Kelly and Mark Stoops and Shane Beamer this year. Just we will load up our the loss column with just a bunch of clowns.
I'm gonna clip that.
Our country accent or the loading up our loss column with clowns. What are you rolling with?
Maybe all the above.
All right. That's it for my stupidity.
That's it for me too.
I just I guess didn't find a ton of stupid stuff this week. So
it has only been
Kirk Herbstreit. I like Kirk Herbstreit. I'll just say that. Kick it off. He doesn't seem like a guy he seems like he normally has more positive things to say about Tennessee than negative. But he was interviewed by, I believe, the LA Times in regards to NIL. And I don't have the whole thing with me now. But he said that essentially he was like, yeah, I don't think it's good that they're paying high school players to come here, making a lot of promises that can't be kept. And just, I mean, threw Tennessee under the bus in the sense of like, do those Knoxville guys feel good about paying someone $8 million to come to their school? It's like, Kirby, brother. You were listen. You went to Ohio State. You're a known Ohio State fan. Your kid's playing there. Ohio State had a kid reclassify, never see the field, and leave in what was reported a 7-figure deal. Again, stones from a glass house. Let's pump the brakes. Do the guys in Columbus feel good about that? Because let's pump the brakes on that one. This $8 million figure's been thrown out there. Not had a lot of traction to it yet. I'm sure that number is big. $8 million, though, is a lot of money. I need people to understand that. Also, it's just going to be the nature of it. Bryce Young, again, proven guy, should get it. If that's his net, if that's his worth, he should get it. But it's just going to be the nature of the business from now on. Like, it's just how it is. So why throw Knoxville under the bus when Columbus is doing it, when Tuscaloosa is doing it, when Athens is doing it, when Pasadena is doing it? Like, what? I just don't get it. And it's, in my opinion, really stupid to single out one school when everyone's doing it.
I mean, I guess he'd rather his coach stick fingers up people's butts. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, while he was at Ohio State, he just did it in Ohio State gear, Landon.
My ass.
That's what he would like that. He would like that.
Yeah, that's definitely not his first time. He did it with ease. He's done it before. He's had a lot of practice sticking his fingers up people's butts. Yeah, I mean, I think Kirk's just mad that, he maybe didn't benefit from getting paid in college, which now the only reason
he gets a private jet now too.
Well, now the only reason you get a salary is because of college football.
Whoa. Amazon Prime, I'm sure, is paying him a healthy, fair amount.
Yeah. So, like, dude, you don't think, like, the kids that, if they didn't play, you wouldn't have a salary. So you don't think they should get a cut of that? He's the reason why people want, like, to get, like, NIL to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's people benefiting from them playing football is what the whole argument is for. So, yeah,
for sure. I mean, he's helped make it $1 billion business. Like, he's been a part of that.
Yep. So,
which is kind of like any other stupidities other than Jim Harbaugh. Comment for him starting a quarterback each week, different quarterback each week.
Yeah, dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, we know this. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Well, he technically has one. He just has one each week.
Correct. My statement still stands.
My first more important issues with more important issues. Kind of going back into game of the week, similar kind of thing. What's your best game day site? Like, when you see game day go somewhere, you like that one's gonna be a lot of fun?
Oh, like college game day, like this show?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
You see college game, you're like, oh, I'm gonna look. Crowd's gonna be insane. It's gonna be a fun show. Like, they're gonna have a lot of gimmicks and stuff. Or like, the mascot heads. You see them go to a specific school. Corso's gonna have a fun mascot head to put on.
That's a great question.
Army Navy's not my favorite. It's a good one though.
Okay. Yeah,
I
like that one.
Good pageantry. Always just some absurd stuff. You have the Army tank running over the Navy helmet, soldiers coming out on the stage, full, loaded up in gear. Always just good fun.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't really know. I guess I like a good Iowa.
Yeah, the weird
like
schools are always the best. I think Baylor had a really good one a couple years ago with McAfee when he jumped off the pontoon boat. I think that was Baylor.
Yeah, that was
that's a great one. Did you see the video of West Virginia? And it was funny because I know it was Corso, Herb Street, Desmond Howard, and I can't remember who the fourth was at that point. They're just turning around and you can their grins looking at each other. The entire crowd yelling "Eat shit, Pitt" to Sweet Caroline was just that's a wild place, West Virginia University. Like, it is wild. Burning couches, obviously not college game day, but always a good environment. So if they get to go to a good West Virginia game, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't really think of any, but yeah, like you said, it is kind of like Wisconsin would probably be a good one. Like Washington State, I think a few years ago was cool.
Yeah,
there's always that Washington State flag. That's you always see.
I think the one they went to Washington State was the first time they'd ever been, but the Washington State's been at every single college game day. The flag.
Yeah,
so
it's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like any SEC school's usually pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I was gonna leave them out. That's easy. Game day country.
When are they going to Vanderbilt?
I'm shocked, honestly. With
I love
the
first Aflac trivia question was which Power 5 school has never been in the AP Top 25 preseason?
Preseason, right? Yeah. It was Vanderbilt. I thought it was 2.
Yeah.
Was it just Vanderbilt?
Yeah, it was just Vanderbilt.
It was Bear dropping the knowledge on us, wasn't it?
Yeah. Don't take his
dude.
He sucks.
We got to start fading Bear. We got to fade Bear and see what.
I don't know. What did he go this weekend?
I don't remember. I was watching soccer too. I
don't even know if he picked. It was kind of a weird setup this past week.
Let's start playing. Let's start fading Bear.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we're gonna fade Bear this year. I should have probably ended with that one on college football with it being officially week 1. I'll do one weird one and then we'll go back to football because me and you had a debate about this. Do you go sock, shoe, or sock, shoe? When you get ready.
I think I go sock, shoe.
All right, we're different in there. I go sock, shoe. Socks on first. I'm shocked you don't because your shoes are always next to the door. Mine are in my bedroom.
Maybe I do. If I just have to slip them on, but if I have to tie them, I think I do sock, shoe. But if I'm just slipping them on, it's socks, shoes.
I don't know. So I'm gonna get my socks on first. Also, like sliding on the hardwood, no big deal. All right, this is the first one. I think the first officiating mishap of the year, Northwestern Nebraska game. Part of me doesn't think it was a fumble, but I don't think you saw enough on the field to overturn it, or enough on the replay to overturn it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I just think like you could probably piece it together.
My problem is,
like I thought you saw it from the back, like when his knee was down, and then you saw when the ball like came out of his hand from the other angle. I thought you could piece that together and determine, but it was said that there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it, and I just think it's not true.
See, I think there wasn't enough evidence to overturn. I don't think you definitely couldn't confirm it for sure. 100% could not confirm. I just don't think the angle, like the screen grabs everybody was posting. I was like, I don't think you can tell definitively when the ball came loose, because it's not when the completely loose possession. It's when he no longer has control of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Is when you have to establish it. And the screen grab, I think it was Unnecessary Roughness podcast posted. It's also like you don't know. First off, in that view, the ball was clearly out, but I also don't know when exactly his knee touched in that screen grab. So it's like I didn't get to see enough still images either to make a definitive decision. But from that one, if that was right when his knee touched, then I definitely don't see how. And then I just didn't think there was a great angle to see the ball. Great angle to see his knee down. I just didn't think there was a great angle to see the ball. I thought it was just kind of a mess.
Yeah.
No.
And it was weird.
Great play regardless.
Yeah. I mean, it's so weird because like it wasn't a play that really like made him fumble, I guess. It was kind of like he was just falling and they just kind of grabbed it as he was like going down to the ground.
Yeah, the last guy in on the tackle just completely stripped it and took possession.
Yeah. So
it wasn't a pop out fumble.
And I mean, that's probably ball game.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? They might try another onside kick.
All right.
Don't bank on Scott Frost. Is there anyone worse at losing when they're winning than Scott Frost? It used to be Butch Jones, but I don't think you can say that anymore.
I think Scott Frost definitely took that over. Good for him.
Get free of that take.
Congrats. He won something.
There you go. Well, he just didn't lose.
Right. He's the greatest loser of all time.
For sure.
Or is he the worst loser of all time? There's you more important issues and more important issues.
Butch Jones, worst loser of all time?
No, is Scott Frost I
think Scott Frost is the best loser of all time.
Or the worst loser of all time?
I think he's the best loser of all time. Butch Jones, since he got dethroned, I think he's the worst loser of all time.
Okay. Gotcha.
So.
Cool. Well, dude, I'm super excited for tomorrow. I can't wait. We're going to get down there early, maybe grab us something to eat, tailgate for a bit, get in the stadium, see what that sucker looks like. I hope it's packed out. I hope it's full of orange. Ball State. Again, nothing personal.
No, I was trying to play Rocky Top through my phone, but I don't know why it's not. It's really sad.
You just want to sing it?
I was fired up. Rocky Top. Dude, let's go. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Neyland Stadium. When that tee opens, you know you're on Rocky Top. Let's freaking go.
It's football time in Tennessee. You'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top.
Dude, there's nothing better than the orange and white Shakers going after a touchdown.
Oh, they're beautiful. Beautiful.
Go Vols, baby. Let's go. Dude, I'll be on. All right. I shouldn't have done that. I'm never be able to sleep tonight. We should have just done that at the beginning and said no.
Are we doing the keys to the game tomorrow?
Play song. Yeah. Are we going to do a noon show? How are we doing that? Or like a lunchtime show?
We can maybe do a space.
That's what I meant. Twitter space. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we probably
Twitter
do a
Space.
Twitter space for lunch. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, we'll talk after this. Schedule it so y'all see that on Twitter. Hop in. You know, we probably won't be able to stay on long, but you can give us key to the game. We'll kick you out because we don't like you. But
yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Be back tomorrow. It's game day. Don't sleep. Get out what you're wearing tomorrow. Get it out early. Let's tweet some pictures out. Let's see what everybody's wearing. And guys, we're bringing the boat in, and we out.